Because I know everybody wants the scoop on poop.
Scoop on poop.
Yeah. So first thing first, we'll quickly go through a update on the reset. So I'm in the middle of week 2, and this week I'm definitely getting more energy. Today was a good day. And I also didn't have to have an alarm because the kids didn't have school, right? Like most everybody's kids. But so that helps. Like if I actually get real sleep at night, then that helps a ton for my energy the next day, regardless. So yeah, and this morning was the first morning that I had my plate of fruit, and I wasn't even really like hungry at all. Like usually I'll have the fruit and like an hour later, I'm like, if there was some food on this plan right now, I could eat it. I could put some more food down. But yeah, so I think, I don't know what's different, but things are moving along. I've been doing the bike for about 15 minutes, no exertion, just pedaling, just kind of moving my body, and listening to the fun music that they play on the bike. And then try and take the dog out for a walk at some point during the day too. So I'm not working out, just kind of moving things along. And I'm shocked at how little cravings I have. Like that's been really surprising to me. Like there's been a bag of Lay's potato chips, the sour cream and onion ones, the ones I can never resist. And they've been sitting there for the whole week and a half. And like Luke was eating them in front of me today. And I'm like, yeah, I don't even want those. Like they don't even sound good. So I don't even know who I am right now.
Isn't it funny? So what do you think is causing or getting rid of our cravings? Do you think it's all the nutrients that we're eating?
I do think that's a lot of it. And I think that while we're on this, a lot of us have focused on our sleep. So that's another one, right? You're well rested, you're nourished. Because I know when I follow a maintenance plan on Portion Fix, my cravings also go way down.
Yeah, because they say when you're tired, you're usually looking for that quick energy, which is usually a carb of some sort. So that's got to be what it is, because even today, I don't really have any cravings, which is weird.
Yeah, so Sue finished on Sunday. So where are you at now? Like, are you kind of slowly adding some things in, or?
Yeah, so I'm 4 days post reset. I've actually had a couple cups of coffee and it actually upset my stomach, which was really weird.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I don't have that, or maybe I do. Then I won't have to drink it anymore because I'm having tea right now.
Yeah, the tea I can drink, but the coffee really upset me a little bit. So maybe I just tried to drink too much too quick. I don't know. I had some fish last night, and I've added quinoa, but I'm still having fruit for breakfast and a salad for lunch. So it's really just been my dinners is what I've added something extra in.
Okay.
So, but I'm trying to kind of maintain that, but I need to add a little more because I've been working out as well. So I started working out this week, and let me tell you, that's hard.
Yeah.
Don't stop working out. It's really hard getting back in the swing of things. I mean, my capacity is just not there. I'm really winded really quickly, but I mean, it won't take long to get back.
Well, and it talks about in the first week to only be at 50% in your workouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a known, piece of things that you kind of need to,
slowly work back into.
Yeah, work your way back into that too.
Yeah. So, but I'm still trying to maintain because obviously I lost weight and I don't want to gain that back, but now I want to make sure I'm not losing more muscle. So
yeah,
but it's, still feel great.
Well, good. All right. Good to hear.
You don't eat meat though. So if you were to eat meat, would you add it in this soon?
Well, technically, no. I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, if you follow by the book, right, then this first week is like the third week. So you're still really on just fruits and vegetables and fats. And then the next week you add in grains, and then the next week you add in animal proteins. But basically what it says, if you're adding them in faster, like you would want to add in some grains and then maybe a couple days later try a protein, but you're not doing like everything all at once. Now I will say a lot of people do and are just fine. So I think it's kind of how you're feeling, what's happening. Like I'm gonna have Thanksgiving 4 days after I finish. So I
Mhm.
am gonna be having some different things there. I probably won't have, we're not big on making a lot of sugary things, so that won't be an issue. But there'll be a lot of meat. So everybody is a giant meat eater. So I will be making my own veggie things to have around. I'll make some kind of salad, and everybody assumes I bring the vegetables anyway. So
Yeah, I had fish last night and it didn't bother me in any way. So it actually was quite good.
yeah, I'm excited to have some salmon again.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, does anybody have any questions about the reset? We good? All right, so let's talk about the scoop on poop. So I was inspired by Autumn because in her monthly video from, I think it was October, maybe September, she talked about the scoop on poop. And this kind of relates to my week because I'm also taking the detox. That happens with every meal. It's the best tasting supplement on this plan. Like it's like fruity, lemony. I don't know. I'd drink it all the time. I think if I could, it tastes really good. But it's also meant to help your organs release toxins, and then for you to also release everything yourself. So I thought this would be a good chance to talk about the scoop on poop. And so mainly this whole conversation, the video she has, which feel free to, I'd recommend going and watching it. It's like 4.5 minutes. She talks about mostly fiber because that really kind of dictates how your poop is and how regular you are, how things are going. And the statistic she threw out there was that 3% of people are getting enough fiber, which is a really shocking number. That's like so tiny. So the two different types of fiber. Yeah.
Why is that? If I can, why do
Well,
people just not?
it could have just been Americans she was throwing out because we're on the SAD diet, standard American diet. Because if you think about the things people are eating, right? Only plants have fiber. So you'd have to eat a plant to get some fiber. So if you think about how many foods people are eating that aren't plants in their day, or processed foods, that really don't contain whole foods, that's pretty standard in everybody's meal plan for the most part. There's a lot of meat, a lot of processed foods, pastas, things like that just aren't going to have the fiber.
Did you say 3%?
3% is what she said. Yeah.
Seems so low,
That's
doesn't it?
crazy.
It's so low, so low.
Yeah. You just have to wonder what, I know the kind of food we normally eat. You have to wonder what now I'm not thinking about this, but what other people's bathroom visits are really like when they eat a lot. I can't unsee this now, but
Now we're gonna be looking at people and thinking, how's your bathroom trip?
you know what I mean? Like seriously, if people just go to McDonald's and eat McDonald's all day long, like what is their, what's it like for them? You have to wonder.
Yeah, probably not great.
So what's the number? What is the percentage of or amount of?
How much
fiber
fiber
do
you're
you
supposed to get? Let's look it up really quick. I should have looked that up before.
Because I'm probably not getting enough.
So you said only 3% get the correct amount of fiber. Is that
Right.
what she said? Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
But we still, I guess in my head, I was like, we still go to the bathroom. At least I do. Even if I didn't get, I'm like clockwork. I don't know about y'all, but I go multiple times a day.
Well, that could be good. Yeah, that could mean that you're getting enough fiber. So this says 25 grams per day, according to the American Heart Association. I don't know what Autumn's using. I don't know, Kelly, if you have a PN book around there.
Well, you know what? I will tell you, it has not really talked about fiber intake.
A requirement,
Um,
yeah.
Because
know
you know,
that
they don't,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
they don't like, I don't say that, they don't like, their whole concept is they don't tie like how many grams of anything that you're supposed to eat.
Right, yeah, they make it
Yeah,
it's very
so, but,
individualized in how you're feeling.
yeah, but I mean, because fiber is tied to the carbs that you eat, and then of course the sugar. I mean, there's I can't remember what chapter that. I mean, when y'all get, I think when y'all get to chapter, because I'm already on 13. When y'all get to chapter 11, I think it might talk a little bit about fiber in there. But I'm just really surprised about the 3%.
I'll look it up, Lily, in my book and see, because I know NASM gives a number and their coaching.
So the big thing with I think they're with PN, when they're thinking about, if you're eating a variety of food and you're not really putting, tying a number to it. So you eat, the color of the rainbow for your vegetables, and you're eating different carbs and different, if you're a meat eater like me, you're eating different things, that all of that is like magic in your body, and you're going to get what you need to expel all of that.
It's true. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess even though I tend to have those treats every once in a while, my body still does what it's supposed to. So it gets what it needs. And it kind of tells me, that's the other thing, it kind of tells me what I need to eat. Need to eat more carbs, more energy, or more fat to help with energy too. So
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. Regardless, I'm glad I'm doing that training, because I've learned so much about how the body works.
I was gonna say, you're probably more in tune with what's happening to your body as well, because you're going through this. The most Americans that go visit the McDonald's drive-through have no clue, I would imagine.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah, because
they need to have more protein or more carbs or more fiber, or that's not even in their
They don't think in
thinking.
macros most likely anyway. So let's talk about, so the fiber is also important, the type of fiber you're having. And so we've talked about this before, where you have soluble and insoluble. And we've talked about, like, when we're looking at food labels, insoluble means that your body doesn't actually ingest any of it. It doesn't absorb it, so that it basically is a bulky, fibrous thing that goes through your body. And so that can be helpful in creating more weight or a larger bulk of poop, so that it has its way to get out, if that makes sense. So it's not like it's creating a constipation, but it's definitely, she mentioned that basically the more weight and girth it has, that it helps push everything through, if that makes sense. So when you're talking about insoluble things, that's root vegetables, celery, nuts and seeds. And she gave a few more examples of that. So that kind of things in your diet are going to help you solidify, help gather things to move it out, and are good. Soluble is the one that is soluble in water. So when it's in your digestive tract, it will create like a gel. And so it helps to slow digestion, so that it balances the energy you're getting out from it. So it's not like you can think of it almost like a glycemic index thing, where it doesn't spike anything, right? Because you've got this great fiber that forms a gel. And so it's just kind of sitting in there, and your body's absorbing it as it needs it. It doesn't have to push it through fast to use it. So that's going to be things like apples, potatoes, oats, strawberries, beans. All of those things are soluble and help to create energy for a longer time. And we've also talked about this before too, like the full feeling beans, oats, those are all things that help you feel full longer. And that's why, because of the soluble fiber. So that also, though, like let's say you don't have a thick enough stool, then both fibers can help to make things more solidified. So fiber can really help no matter what your poop problem is, right? It can make it so that it's a more regular form and easily expelled. This is weird talking about poop sometimes on my birth. So, and so then on the video, she goes on to talk about how she considers Portion Fix a plant-based program. And so as you're filling your containers, you could have anywhere between 11 and 21 plants per day. So if you look at the food list and the different things you could fill your containers with, there's just a lot of plant options. And by doing that, you're going to get the insoluble, the soluble, and create more regularity in your diet. And like Kelly was talking about, when you're eating the rainbow, that's just critical for nutrients, micronutrients, because, celery's got something that a potato doesn't have, that a red pepper doesn't have. And just by really diversifying all of your veggies and your plants, and like when we had that 30 plant challenge, just trying to get as many plants in as possible, that's just going to help your system regulate. And I can tell you from being on plants all the time right now, really regular. So it's like, yeah, I'm like, wow, this is impressive. So
I found it when y'all get to it. It's chapter 11. There is a section called fiber, page 155. Everything that it's like you just read this page right here. Everything that you listed. Yeah. But you're right on about fiber. There's several things listed here, but it just that it's, when you were talking about the bulk of your stool, that's what helps it move through your body.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gravity thing. When it gets, you have some muscles moving it in the beginning of digestion, but really once it gets to the small intestines, it's kind of a gravity thing where it's got to just kind of work its way through.
Yep. No, this is some good stuff.
So are you supposed to have more insoluble versus soluble, or
I don't know if I'd look at it like that. And I don't even know that you necessarily, like if you're just focusing on eating plants, you're going to be fine. You know what I mean? If you're focusing on filling your containers with plants, you're going to be just fine, and whole foods. So I don't know that it's something you necessarily need to count unless you're really having some kind of situation where like a registered dietitian or a doctor kind of wants you to track it. Or if you found you had to add fiber to things, do you know what I mean? In those situations, it might be something you track, but I think it really can be pretty regulated by just focusing on the plant.
The other thing that you said, and I knew I had seen it, seeds and nuts, very important too.
Very
important. I love those because I didn't realize that that's also helping with that whole process too. So like I said, the magic thing that they keep preaching in this book is if you have variety, your body will run the way that it's supposed to. But if you're just eating, the same thing over and over again, that's where you start to have your issues.
Right. Yeah. So it's like not filling your green container with broccoli for every meal.
Yeah.
Switch it up. And that will help in itself.
Yep.
Well, so like if you have, so I use the Digestive Boost that Beachbody sells, and so I was looking up because I was curious how many grams of fiber it gives you, and it only gives you 7 grams of fiber. So,
but in your Shakeology, you've already got 6, I believe.
Yeah, so that's that's half of your fiber intake for the day.
Yeah,
so,
which is pretty good because your fruits and vegetables should have a decent amount in them too.
If you eat fruits and vegetables, yes, but.
Are you avoiding the fruits and vegetables, Lily?
Oh, not me. No, I'm good.
I was going to say, why are you avoiding fruits and vegetables?
Right?
No, I'm good. I don't have a problem with them. However, the people that, there are lots of my customers that maybe have a problem, including my kids.
Oh,
yeah, my kids for sure.
Right. And people who are adopting the low carb keto type.
stuff, yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
steer clear of, they'll eat all the vegetables, but they'll still steer clear of the fruit. So, yeah.
Yeah, not,
See,
not
I-
a good balanced diet for sure.
Mhm.
There's something in the, a couple times now, someone has commented in one of the bod groups, and I'm just like, this is so right. Like, they're like, nobody got fat off fruit and vegetables,
No.
right? I'm like, that is so right. Like, nobody eating just fruits and vegetables is like putting on the weight. That's just not how this works. It's the other stuff. And you can't leave out all of this good plant work, right? Because that's where you get so many different nutrients that you just don't get in other things. And, you know, I mean, there's things in meat you don't get in other parts of your diet either. It's really about this balance and getting all the things that you can in a good level.
See, I kind of wish I would have known about when I was doing carb cycling, how really for me, and I know everybody's different, how bad that was really for me when I was going through that, because I need carbs. My body needs carbs. The same thing too, I think, and everybody, I guess, you know, I get that everybody has a choice of how they want to eat. But I don't think I would do very well not having meat.
Yeah. I agree.
that's
like,
just-
yeah, I'm
I
ready to
would
put some
not-
meat back in. Yeah.
Well, the protein, I just think I would just be doing more damage for me, because I think I'm still learning to eat variety of different vegetables and getting the protein a different way. That if I was just to say, oh, no more meat for now, I think obviously that would be a complete, you know, change in going to the bathroom. I mean, everything. It would it would be good. So I think for me, I need to make sure I just have to eat everything. I mean, variety, stay away from the junk food, which I do pretty good on that anyway. So, but I think it's just, it's a work in progress. So
It
always
is. It really always is. I mean, nobody's eating perfect.
no, yeah.
And the good news is you really don't have to. Like, I don't know, you don't have to. Like,
well, there is a percentage, I can't remember. It's really not that high. There is, I can't remember if it's in chapter 1 or 2, but it says somewhere between, I think it was like 50 or 60%. If you're eating, you know, on plan 50 or 60%, you're still going to see some type of benefit in your nutrition period, because people think it's all or nothing.
Right.
And then they give up. So if you're, you know, just consistent in hitting that 50 to 60%, you're still going to see some type of results. It's going to be slow.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of learning to live a certain lifestyle, and then it'll just progress from there.
Definitely. And I mean, it's shown too, the health metrics. If you're just moving your body each day, your health metrics change, you know, quite a bit. If you improve your nutrition by a certain percentage, your health metrics are going to show that too. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be perfect. You can see a lot of gains and a lot of health benefits just in upping 10 and 15% of whatever you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So any questions on poop?
It's a good topic. I was clueless that we were going to talk about it, but I was like, ooh, I just covered that.
So did she talk about, or is there anything about like being hydrated versus dehydrated? Like,
No, I was surprised she didn't talk about hydration. And I was a little surprised. I expected that to come up. She really focused on the fiber and then how to click it into Portion Fix, right? Like how you're picking things in Portion Fix that will help you. So yeah, I was a little surprised too that water wasn't brought up, but clearly, I mean, we're learning in the reset that water is everything. And in any kind of health coaching, water is everything, right? Being hydrated allows all of your body systems to work at a proper level. So without hydration, something in your body is being shortchanged and then doesn't work at the right level.
That's my next chapter, chapter 13.
Wow.
Well, we'll
Water.
talk about that.
Water and
next time.
fluid balance. Yeah, so yeah, that'll be interesting. Yep, hydration is definitely going to be discussed. So,
And I've been doing, I didn't go a full gallon this time. I've been doing probably like between a half and 3/4 of a gallon. So I'm right at a half of my body weight through the days. And that has seemed like I don't feel like I'm chugging water all the time, but I do definitely have water with me all the time. And it seems like it's been a decent level. That was one interesting thing too. This is kind of a side note, but like in the reset, it talks about having your water ahead of your meal. And part of the reasoning on that is when you're having your water ahead, it's priming your system for digestion. So then when you're having your meal, you're not drinking as much water. I mean, I would sip a little here and there, but for the most part, I would just be eating. And honestly, the salads take a good half hour just to chew and get through because they're so giant. So you're just eating, right? But then that allows, when you're not adding a bunch of water with the food going in, you're not diluting the digestive juices. So your digestion actually works at a more optimal level because it's just the food it's dealing with. And it's the juices can then, they're not being diluted by water and not necessarily getting everything out of the food, if that makes sense. So you prime ahead of time, you drink your water, and then you eat, let your digestion happen, work. I mean, you can have some water, but it's not like that's not the time to put down 8 to 12 ounces of water, like in the middle of the meal. And I found that a lot in the past. Like if I'm thirsty or I've been forgetting to have my water, like I'm just drinking a ton during the meal too. So. All right, does anybody have any food labels?
I can't see mine, so no.
Yeah, I don't either. I haven't brought anything really new.
Anybody want to talk about anything? Any questions with Portion Fix? We're going to have to jump off in about 9 minutes anyway, because there's a call with Jennifer Jacobs tonight.
oh, I forgot that
6, yeah.
Yeah.
that is.
So
That's it.
if you didn't know, job 1 is coming. It is a 4-week, 5-day-a-week, 20 minutes a day workout. It appears to be cardio weights, using some resistance bands, and she will have optional bike cycling workouts if you have the bike, but otherwise there's also cardio too if you don't have the bike.
I think she uses the bands quite a bit in it. It
Looks like it. Yeah.
Like, she likes the bands a lot. And which, I mean, I don't know if you guys have done band work, but it can kick your booty.
100%. And it's like when we use the resistance bands in Control Freak, it's like it just works it in a different way that you get a new soreness that you hadn't experienced yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something about it.
And the results that are coming out of the test group after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks are just amazing. I mean,
Really?
crazy. Yeah. Yeah. The results that they've been posting online in the stories and stuff are pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what she's like full on in a program like that. Cause I was so pleasantly like surprised and happy with Amwala. And I wasn't sure how he'd be like in a program. And I thought in 645, he was just fantastic. So.
I agree. I just love him. I love his energy. I love how he just talks to you, and yet he's just down to earth and just thinks he's hilarious, and usually is pretty funny with whatever.
Yeah.
And that comes out, what day is the 19th? That comes out on the 19th, 6:45 too.
Next week on Wednesday, maybe.
Let's look and see.
Wednesday, maybe.
Well, the
Friday,
15th is
that's
Monday.
weird. It comes out on next Friday.
Huh.
But
Well-
it's interesting. So job 1 is just Jennifer Jacobs and no cast.
Oh,
It's
it is.
just her, and my understanding is just her and she's in like a living room setting. Because Carl was showing some of the backdrop on his stories yesterday. And he said that it looks like a living room setup is what the backdrop is. And so,
Oh,
and it's just
interesting.
her.
Huh.
So it'll be a really interesting. So
Yeah.
That should be interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna make the call, you guys. I'm getting so tired. So do you think it'll be recorded?
it'll be recorded and
I'm
put in the
sure.
file.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it will be.
Okay,
will.
I think I'll listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah. And just one more thing too, on job one, the sample workout comes out on Monday. So that'll be posted in all the groups. Everybody can do the sample. Yeah, that'll be good to check out too.
Yes, can't wait.
Well, good. Does
Well,
anybody
I need to get some more fiber in, obviously. I don't,
We all do.
go
so,
eat an apple? Go eat an apple.
Yeah.
I just had an orange. Does that count? I didn't eat the peel
I don't
though.
know how fibrous oranges are.
Yeah.
We'll have to
I
get a
don't know.
fiber. I'll look up a fiber chart somewhere and I'll post it under this call.
I'm curious because I mean, I used to track on MyFitnessPal and I've just got away from it this summer because I was insanely busy. And so I used to track how much, and fiber was one of them. And, but I don't know if I got 25 grams. So
Yeah.
I'd be interested to go back and track a day and see how short I am because I have a feeling I'm not getting that much.
Well, I will post some stuff. I'll post some charts here. I found a bunch. I'll post some charts and then we can start tracking it.
Is there like a difference if you're juicing fruits and vegetables versus just eating them?
100%. Yeah. So you are taking out all the fiber when you're juicing. And so you're just getting the sugar content. You are still getting the vitamins and nutrients, but you're getting no fiber. So when it hits you, you have a much bigger spike. It's kind of like having soda, right? Because it's like you just have the sugar spike and it doesn't sit in there very long because there's nothing else to digest. So it hits your system pretty hard.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's best if you can have it in whole form or with the fiber, but you probably don't want to drink it when it's with the fiber. Because that would be pretty, I don't know.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
why
there's
a lot of people talk about orange juice, right? Like orange juice is just, it's like
Yeah.
a soda. It's just, you know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
it doesn't have anything to stop it from slowing down when the sugar hits your system. What are you gonna say, Kelly?
I went back and looked at this page. It does provide some examples. So oranges was listed, oranges, bananas, blueberries, apples, vegetables such as artichokes. That makes me laugh. Tomatoes and carrots, those are some examples there. Oats, oat bran, dry beans, peas, nuts, barley, flax. Yeah.
It says one small orange has 2.3 grams of fiber.
Oh, well, there you go.
There
You
you go.
You get 2 or 3 of those, depending on 4 or whatever plan you're on. For me, I get 3 cups in the morning.
That would be a reason to do the reset because I love fruit.
Oh, I do too, and it's pretty magical. I'm pretty glad it continues next week. It's gonna make up for having to have sweet potatoes.
Oh, you
You're
don't
not
like
a sweet potato fan?
Don't. They're fine. I just
Oh.
I think I'm gonna get the tempeh because I didn't do it in week 1. I got the smoky tempeh, but I didn't get the baked tempeh, and you can have the baked one in week 3. So I think I'm gonna probably just sub that in for the potatoes.
The other thing, real quick, I meant to say something about it too, is how you eat your food, raw versus cooked. I'd like potatoes. I did not realize that you lose if you do a baked potato, eat it. Okay, that's fine. You're gonna get, I think you get more nutrients there than you would if you put it in the fridge, pull it out again, warm it up. It's
Right.
just, it changes its nutrients.
Yeah,
Which
like
I didn't
if
realize
you
that.
cut a strawberry, it starts losing nutrients from the time you cut the stem off, too. So like
That's fine. last long after that.
Right? But if you were to cut them and then like say you're meal prepping and you cut them and you have them 3 days later, they're not going to be as nutritious as they were with the stem on. And like same like, and then there's also examples of like spinach. When you cook it, you actually break down the plant fiber so you can get different nutrients than if you eat the spinach raw.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things like that, like on the reset, they want you to steam everything. And that's because that generally gives you the best nutrient. Like it holds more nutrients when you steam it.
Yep, that's what it said.
Yeah.
You don't need to read these books. You already read them.
I'll just take the test.
Take your 10 question test and you'll be done. But no, I learned that too. I didn't realize that, cooking it, putting it in the fridge, bringing it back out, put it in the microwave, all of that changes the really what you end up getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's good to do raw, and then there's stuff it doesn't necessarily matter. It doesn't change a lot. So yeah.
Well, even how you chop it up too, like garlic. I mean, just things like that I would have never thought of.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty fascinating how it all works.
yep, it's magic.
All right, well, I'll get a picture and then we're gonna have to jump off so we can hit the Jennifer Jacobs call.
And I would suggest getting on right at 6. or
Yeah,
a
it's gonna
little
be
earlier.
pretty busy.
Pretty
Yeah.
packed.
We'll make sure we're on here. All right, everybody ready? Cheese. Well, it was good to see you guys. Thanks for
Good
jumping
seeing
on.
everybody.
Joy.
Thanks for the scoop.
Yes. On to-
Remember your scoop. I hope you remember me when you hit the bathroom later. That's all we talked about.
That's funny.
Think of
All
me.
right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
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 Good night.